Hello, people of YouTube. My name is Steve Gray. Thank you for watching. Today we're talking about My Hero Academia Season 7, Episode 6. And the first half of this episode kind of annoys me because it's kind of like a recap, or is a recap. So we show up with All Might and jumping into Class UA 1A. Let's go ahead and skip the intro here. Basically saying that he is going to reveal the plan to a select few students. That way they know what is going on. So the plan here, which is a pretty cool plan, because we get to see, let's see when we can find him. We're going to keep going till he pops up. They're going to use Yuga as well. Aoyama, Yuga, whatever you want to call him. We're going to go ahead and just keep fast forwarding here until we find, there he is. There's the cool cat, Shinzo, Mr. Mind Control. He has now worked on his quirk, and he has the ability to control what people say, too. So it used to be it was just kind of generally control them. Now he finally has the ability to control what they're saying. So what he's going to do is control Aoyama's parents and Aoyama himself, make him say things so that way when he's talking to All For One, they're not lying. But basically, All For One has the ability to detect any type of lie or whatever else in their voices. So that is the plan, is use him to call him out as well. And then obviously we saw last episode, he had a backup plan because of course he does, and, brought all the other villains with him as well. He doesn't even have his provisional license yet, kind of classes and everything are on hold. He was like, I thought I was going to be transferring and everything, but look, now I'm a second year. He mentioned that he was a second year at this point. He still wants to get into the old hero program, and I really hope he does. I hope we get a nice, good end conclusion for Shinzo. He is probably, I would say, one of my favorite side characters, if not the favorite side character. I feel like his quirk is extremely useful compared to some other heroes' quirks that we have seen throughout the show. We also have Mr. Copycat, over here, whose name I am forgetting. Let's see if it gives me his name. Let's see here. Phantom Thief. All right, we'll call him by his hero name. So what they're going to be using him multiple times using his quirk. So the first time they're using it is to get through to Kurogiri and to copy his quirk in terms of teleportation, which is going to be extremely useful. Which is how we saw all the heroes pop out at the end of last episode coming in. Monoma here. That sounds like some sort of cancer, melanoma. Monoma. But they're going to use his quirk for teleportation purposes. And he is a key to the plan, which is very, very good. So they got everybody there. You got all the pro heroes out. My best girl, Mirako, showing up. She's got short hair, a damaged ear, prosthetic cannon-looking arm, and a prosthetic leg that looks very springy as well. So I guess she healed up nice, even though that I don't know what the time frame is from the last fight to the current fight, but we know she got wrecked pretty bad. She did a lot of good. She stopped Shigaraki from getting to 100%, but she got beat up pretty bad there. So we got Dabi showing up here, which I think he's just going by his name now. But yeah, that's a delightful still image of his face. So now we're doing Operation, I think they said Troy, and that is putting them in all of these different barriers. Very expensive, very costly. All For One is like, we can just kind of break through these things in like 2 seconds. But the goal is to split them up. So the goal is to have Phantom Thief use the quirk to split them up, it looks like, into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, possibly 6 different areas. And ultimately get Deku versus Shigaraki again. They have a whole setup for dealing with Shigaraki. That plan, unfortunately, does eventually fall through. So everybody's getting split up here as well. They're all using their quirks to the best of their abilities to push them through. Phantom Thief, he's kind of being a little bit of a, is it narcissist or asshole, perhaps, about it. Being that he is like, yes, I'm pulling all the strings, this is my master plan. He kind of sounds like a villain, if you ask me, but he's in the spotlight, he is loving it. So all of them are getting pushed through. They do eventually all get split off. Deku, unfortunately, if we play it here real quick, he gets sucked into a portal he was not supposed to go in. So that is not according to plan. We have everybody split out here. We have the higher-ups, Endeavor and Hawks versus All For One. We're going to see how that kind of pans out, because I think it's pretty much just those two. Talking about how, the Mud Guy was like a lesser version of Kirigiri. And they're like, well, this is a great plan, but you need to consider whether or not you can actually win. And he's got a point, I really don't think he is going to have all that much of a hard time with Hawks and Endeavor. Hawks' wings, a lot of them have grown back, but they're still looking pretty bad. They're looking pretty rugged. Endeavor is probably good to go, but, you're talking two pro heroes versus one of the strongest characters, either the strongest or second strongest character in the universe. So then we have, he's like, oh, it's cruel too, because you have Dabi versus Shoto, brother versus brother. Looks like Ida is there as well. I think the reason they put Ida there, this is going to be my prediction for next episode, what I have seen in a couple other movies with super fast people. If they run in a circle really, really fast around somebody, it cuts off the oxygen supply. No oxygen equals no flame. And I've seen that, I don't know about comic books, but I've seen that in a movie or two. So I'm guessing that's why Ida is there. So that'll be interesting to see. But Shigaraki is by himself, and they made this whole crazy prison thing. Toga, by the way, was the one that got Deku to her location because she wants to confess her love and plow him. No, well, actually, probably. But anyway, moving on here. We still have not seen Lemillion. I don't know where the heck he is hiding. We still got, Nejire and Sun Eater. You gotta get one of Sun Eater's also one of my favorite characters. He eats stuff and takes on the properties of those things. Which is pretty cool. But they're going to do their best with what they got. Essentially, they're like, well, he's in this type of prison type deal. He's like, even no matter how powerful you are, when you get hit with a heavy electric shock, it's going to stiffen you up for at least a second or so. They designed this prison to come apart in a whole bunch of pieces. They are using Cementos and Momo to keep creating more and more and more to keep the prison activated. Then they are using the electric users, kind of off on the side over here, in order to, create the electrical barrier floating in the sky. So as long as they're good to go, everything works, hopefully. But the plan was to have Deku there, and that's not working out too hot there. We see everybody, there we go. There's the whole support team going on, coughing in the sky. There we go. Miss always drops my boobs on Deku's face. We got Best Genius there, too. She's the one that kind of created this entire plan. Between her, Cementos, Momo, everybody can just create the materials they need because there is a shortage of materials right now. I don't know who these other three characters are, but, you need more than one electric user. You can't just be having him do it 24/7. But we'll see what kind of happens here. We then are using Phantom Thief a second time. So because Aizawa lost one of his eyes, his quirk is not the best. But I believe they can stop multiple quirks between the two of them, which is why he is touching Phantom Thief. So they are going to just keep staring at him as long as they can. We have a water user here, making sure that they don't have to blink as well. And that seems to be good to go. He was like, the plan was like they barely kind of got through with Midoriya here. Here we have Mirako kicking, being her crazy self. And then we have her getting wrecked again. Can we just stop wrecking my girl, please? She's running out of limbs at this point. Stop wrecking her. I'm assuming Decay is off at this point, but this is the new quirk that we kind of saw. And I'm going to call it 1,000 Fingers. Because that's what it looks like. It looks like he's shooting a bunch of fingers out of himself. So I guess they didn't delete that quirk, or he has too many quirks so they can't erase them all, which I think is a possibility. I could see them being able to erase Decay, maybe one other quirk at the same time. But he has immense healing factors and other factors too, so even if he doesn't have all of his quirks, he's still extremely dangerous. So yeah, Mirko gets wrecked there at the end. And then we just end the episode out. So let's go ahead and look at the preview here, so we're not dragging this bad boy out too long. All right, where's the preview? So we have, I think is it Edshot, I think his name is. He is showing up as well. We got Whale Guy. There's Toga. Next time is Inflation. But I think the goal is basically going to be get Deku where he needs to go, maybe defeat Toga real quick, and then, go from there. I don't know if this is technically the final battle that we're in or not. I'm not really sure. I know the manga itself is ending fairly soon, but I'm not sure if this is all going to be the final battle, or it's just going to kind of be like massive battle, epic losses again, and then, okay, let's regroup, replan for the next one. We're going to have to wait and see how all of that kind of pans out. Overall, I think we'll give this one a 7 out of 10. Yes, we had the plan being explained again, which I don't feel like we really needed it because we had a general idea of what was going to happen. But it was cool to see Shinzo. It was cool to see Phantom Thief. A couple of the characters we've seen in the past make an appearance, and he's like, oh, you're not, everybody's a main character, you're not a side character, even though he's literally a side character in this show. It's all about Deku. Sorry, Phantom Thief. Sorry, bud. You got the show for like 5 minutes in one episode, so there you go. But I love his copy ability. I think it's really cool. Hate his attitude, love his quirk. But good episode overall. Looking forward to what's going to happen next. As I said, probably Deku's got to get away from all this. Stay tuned for tomorrow's episode of a Demon Slayer review. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, notification bell, share, like, all that good stuff. And as always, have a good one.